My name is Mishkin Berteig, and I'm the founder of Berteig Consulting. I work with organizations, large and small, on how to improve their use of Scrum and other agile methods. And often we're called in to fix broken Scrum. This is happening because a lot of advice, a lot of information out there, YouTube videos, for example, some of the most popular ones, some of the bigger consulting companies, they give a lot of bad advice, a lot of inaccurate ideas about what Scrum is. So in this series of videos, I'm talking about the myths of Scrum. And in the last video, I talked about how the retrospective is often thought of as a public meeting for the team. It's not, it's private. In this one, we're talking about the myth that Sprint Zero is part of Scrum. The idea of a Sprint Zero is kind of a simple idea, and it's interesting in its own right, I suppose. And that is to take a little bit of time before we really get started, to do some planning and preparation work. Now, of course, that would be fine. There's nothing wrong with that inherently. The problem is calling it a sprint. When we call something a sprint, we have something very specific in mind. Every sprint must deliver potentially shippable product increment. Now, a potentially shippable product increment is a bit like a gift. It's a gift to the business. And so I like to draw it as a little, gift wrap package. I'm not a great artist, but the idea is that we want to deliver some real value to the business every single sprint, or at least potentially. And the problem with a sprint zeros don't deliver any value. So no matter how short you make it, Scrum does not require preparation. In fact, it's possible with Scrum to just dive into a sprint, have a team of people set up, working together, perhaps in a team room together, and to start actually doing their sprints and delivering value right from sprint number one. Sprint Zero is kind of a techie idea. Why would you call it Sprint Zero? It's just, this preparation phase. I would much rather that instead of calling it a sprint, please just call it preparation. You do not need to call it a sprint, and it's confusing. So one of the reasons it's confusing, this is a slippery slope. It's very easy to start thinking, oh, you know what? We need another Sprint Zero, or Sprint 01, or Sprint 02 in order to do more preparation. And I've seen this kind of problem with organizations all the time, taking weeks or even months to get ready for the first sprint. The first sprint is the only kind of sprint that matters. What are you going to build next? What potentially shippable increment of your product? Now, if you have this problem, it's a serious one. You should call us, Berteig Consulting at berteig.com. Give us a call. We can help you fix your Sprint Zero problem. In the next video, we're going to talk about how there's a common myth that Scrum is for IT projects. We'll see how that's actually completely wrong, and we've got a lot of other options and even better places to use Scrum.